Good morning. I'm Natalie with KQNK. Today is Thursday, March 14th. Currently, with mostly cloudy skies, it is 46 degrees. The humidity is 79%. The wind speed is north at 14 miles per hour. The barometric pressure is 29.85. The dew point is 40 degrees, and the current wind chill is 40 degrees. It is 8:04 and time for Kansas News.
Kansas Information Network News. I'm Jen Austin. A new survey from Emporia State University shows most districts across Kansas are dealing with teacher retention problems. Julio Flores has more.
The survey found that from 2020 to 2022, Kansas saw a 31% increase in teachers leaving the profession. Even though the pandemic is over, teachers are experiencing the effects. In 2023, 28% of teachers surveyed by Emporia State said they were likely to quit or retire. Many of those teachers specifically had been between 4 and 11 years of experience. I'm Julio Flores.
Work begins Monday on two Kansas interstates. KDOT said the pavement replacement projects will happen on Interstate 135 just north of Exit 48 in McPherson County and continue for 3 miles to the south near Mound Ridge. Crews will also work on Interstate 70 at Junction City from mile marker 296 to 300. There will be closures in the main lanes and ramps beginning Monday, March 18th. The work is part of a larger project that will finish in 2025. This is Kansas Information Network News.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Good morning. I'm Natalie Hadley with your KQNK News. Brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, serving all of your chemical and fertilizer needs. On Wednesday morning, the Kansas House passed Senate Bill 233, 80-40, which bans healthcare professionals from using surgery or puberty blockers to treat transgender children. And that's with more support than a version of this bill had last year. There were 4 Republicans absent during the vote, and adding the 4 to the yay column would be enough votes needed to override a veto from Kansas Governor Laura Kelly. Republican leaders said 22 other states have similar measures intended to protect children's mental health and prevent life-altering decisions. However, Kansas Democrats opposed the bill, arguing that it doesn't help children. The bill the House passed Wednesday prohibits healthcare providers from using surgery, puberty blockers, or other medical treatments for anyone under 18 whose gender identity doesn't match their sex. Another part of the bill that moved forward on Wednesday would add restrictions for state employees whose jobs involve working with children, and those include prohibiting employees from using a child's preferred pronoun if it doesn't align with their sex. The Kansas bill also bans state funds from going toward social or medical transitioning, and providers offering this could lose their licenses. The bill moves on to the Senate, and if approved there, it would advance to Governor Kelly's desk, although last year, Governor Kelly vetoed a similar bill. In 2023 alone, Kansas Highway Patrol troopers cited more than 3,000 people for driving at least 100 miles per hour. So on Wednesday in the state capitol, troopers went before the House Committee of Transportation testifying about the excessive speeds they continued to see. The Kansas Department of Transportation and the Kansas Highway Patrol are asking for Kansas lawmakers to help control the ongoing problem and find a different approach than simply just handing out more tickets. In speaking to the House Committee ahead of the Kansas Highway Patrol's presentation, Kansas Department of Transportation Chief of Transportation Safety, Vanessa Spartan, said law enforcement would agree that their goal isn't to stop people and give citations. Their goal is crash correction and less risky behaviors. Kansas Highway Patrol Colonel Eric Smith began his presentation to lawmakers, pleading with them to step up and come up with some sensible solutions to a problem for which they have not had any progress with in the last several years. In an effort to show the severity of drivers speeding excessively, Colonel Smith showed a video caught by troopers of a vehicle reaching 140 miles per hour on a Kansas highway, saying that it's clear this driving is dangerous and can and will affect everyone. Kansas Highway Patrol Troop D Captain Travis Phillips added that this type of driving can lead to serious, sometimes deadly consequences. He said he's worked those wrecks, and those are terrible, and he's seen the families and their devastation from those wrecks. He added that they're senseless and they don't have to happen. The Kansas legislature held a hearing on Tuesday morning on Senate Bill 415, a bill which has proposed that the law would recognize organized retail theft as an official crime and increase the penalties. If passed, Senate Bill 415 would create harsher penalties for crimes in which thefts from stores extended well beyond smaller shoplifting cases. And Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach said this is a pressing matter, with retail crime numbers reaching $41 billion since 2022. The bill would also include these crimes within the definition of racketeering. Kobach and Kansas Chamber Vice President of Government Affairs Eric Stafford emphasized that this is a prevalent issue, especially with the use of technology. Those opposing the bill said that language needs to be tailored, adding that as it stands, the bill will target vulnerable people and not ringleaders in organized crime. A new survey from Emporia State University shows that school districts across Kansas are dealing with teacher retention problems. The 2023 Kansas Teacher Retention Survey showed that 2/3 of Kansas school districts are experiencing teacher shortages, and in addressing the survey, Emporia State University professor Dr. Brett Church explained what's leading to the problems. He said that from 2020 to 2022, Kansas saw a 31% increase in teachers leaving the profession, and even though the pandemic is over, teachers are experiencing the effects, because the impact or the things that are still occurring as a result of COVID may not have changed as dramatically as they have expected. In 2023, 28% of teachers surveyed by Emporia State said they were likely to quit or retire, and many of those teachers specifically had between 4 and 11 years of experience. Church said this is concerning because they also represent 31% of the workforce. This week, Church presented the survey to the Kansas Board of Education. He said some other reasons teachers are quitting is their pay and outside negative perception of the teaching profession. In Nebraska news, Lincoln police said one man was arrested early Thursday morning after he tried to run from officers. Captain Dwayne Winkler said officers pulled over a vehicle at around 12:15 a.m. near North 62nd Street and Havelock Avenue, and they said they believed the vehicle was stolen earlier in the week. While the officers detained the driver, the passenger ran away from the scene, and an officer deployed their taser to stop the passenger, a 53-year-old man. The man was taken to the hospital and then arrested for resisting arrest and possession of a controlled substance, and the driver, a 38-year-old woman, was not arrested. Winkler did not say if the vehicle that was pulled over was actually stolen. According to police, a man threatened to kill a person before breaking into their home in York. At around 7:30 p.m. on Monday, officers were sent to a home near Delaware Avenue and 19th Street on a report of a burglary, and the residents were not home. However, a man, later identified as 22-year-old Jonah Jewell, was seen in security video leaving the home before the officers arrived. Shortly after, a York County deputy found Jewell nearby and took him into custody. And during an investigation, officers learned that Jewell had been sending threatening text messages to a resident of the home. Jewell, who was caught with a loaded gun, had threatened to kill that person, according to police, and he was arrested on suspicion of several charges, including attempted first-degree murder. Investigators with the Nebraska State Patrol have conducted alcohol compliance checks in Hall and Red Willow counties in recent weeks. In Hall County, 10 businesses were checked, with 2 of them failing the compliance check. According to the Nebraska State Patrol, the businesses that failed the compliance checks in Hall County were Y&N Liquor and Pump and Pantry 52, both in Grand Island. Alcohol compliance checks were done in Red Willow County as well. In total, 11 businesses were checked, and none of the businesses failed. Businesses that sell alcohol to a minor are referred to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission, and clerks who sell alcohol to a minor are cited for procuring alcohol for a minor. I'll be back with more in just a moment.
Firebolt Ag is a full-service fertilizer and chemical retailer. They customize products for individual farmers' needs, with the primary focus being customer profitability. Let Josh and Jack help you get the most out of your farm ground. They also provide in-house marketing with Ron Wall of Flatwater Solutions. Visit Ron in Phillipsburg or call Josh at 785-854-8484 or Jack at 308-840-2819. Firebolt Ag, your leader in agriculture.
According to the unofficial minutes of the Norton County Board of Commissioners meeting that was held on February 29th, Commissioner Garrett Beidler called the meeting of the Norton County Board of Commissioners to order at 9 a.m. in the commission room, and in attendance were Richard Thompson, Garrett Beidler, and Marvin Matchett. The February 2024 vouchers and payroll were submitted to the commission for approval, and upon review, the vouchers and payroll were approved as submitted. Ted White with Norton County Solid Waste reported to the commission that he is working with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment to establish a needle or medical sharp disposal plan, and Ted stated that an amendment to the county's operation plan will need to be done and approved. When the plan has been approved, it will allow for disposal at the facility for residential disposal of sharps, though this amendment would not include medical or commercial facilities. Wanda Vincent, the Norton County Registrar of Deeds, spoke with the commission about job applicants and salary range for the beginning position. Terry Laughlin with the Norton County Road Department reported that a work crew has been preparing the 9-mile gravel pit hauling the county usage, and gravel trucks will begin hauling to sites where blade operators have requested spot maintenance. Terry also stated that Foley and John Deere will be looking at grader number 106 for trade-in value, and he has asked the operators to get over their territories and get ready for the spring farming activities. Craig Sowers with the Norton County EMS spoke with the commission about the use of the proposed 0.25% sales tax funds, and Craig provided the commission with an outline of how Norton County EMS would benefit from the tax revenue. At the previous meeting, Terry Peterson with Solomon Valley Fire spoke with the commission about the possibility of some funding assistance for the recent purchase of a brush truck. The commission reviewed the request, and a motion was made by Chairman Beidler to fund $25,000 from the recovery funds to Solomon Valley Fire, with a second from Commissioner Matchett, and the motion passed 3-0. Resolution 2024-06 was presented to the commission for consideration of adoption, and Resolution 2024-06 is a resolution adopting a ban of open burning in Norton County, Kansas. As with the current dry conditions and wind, environmental conditions exist for the possibility of uncontrollable fires. A motion was made by Commissioner Matchett to adopt Resolution 2024-06 with the second from Commissioner Thompson, and the motion passed 3-0. 2 tax abatements were presented to the commission for signature. Statement 2024-33 and 2024-34 were presented for property tax that was destroyed by fire and should have been reported by the taxpayer in order to be removed. The abatements were approved in the amount of $1,200.36. Bids were reviewed by the commission for the required election room security system that was recently implemented by the Secretary of State's office. The election security system requires each county to have their equipment under a lock and security monitoring system. A motion was made by Commissioner Matchett to approve the bid from INA Alert in the amount of $12,000, with the second from Commissioner Thompson, and the motion passed 3-0. Resolution 2024-07 was presented to the Commission for review and adoption, and Resolution 2024-07 is a resolution calling for a referendum on the issue of levying a county-wide sales tax for the purpose of funding health care service in Norton County. A motion was made by Commissioner Matchett to approve Resolution 2024-07 with the second from Commissioner Thompson, and the motion passed 3-0. Craig Sowers with the Norton County EMS also spoke with the commission about storage and access to the old EMS building. Craig stated that his remotes would no longer work, and he was wondering about usage and access. The commission said they will review the situation. A motion was made by Chairman Beidler to approve the January 31st minutes with the second from Commissioner Matchett. A motion was made by Commissioner Matchett to approve the minutes from February 12th with the second from Chairman Beidler, and a motion was made by Commissioner Thompson to approve the February 19th minutes with the second from Chairman Beidler. The motions passed. Sheriff Thompson spoke with the commission about the status of the courthouse generator. The county has not had much success in finding suitable bids for the installation of a generator that could operate the courthouse in a power failure. And after discussion, the commission suggested that rather than trying to get a larger unit that would service the courthouse, to just purchase a unit similar to the unit that has failed. With no further business before the board, the meeting was adjourned until March 11th. Services for Pastor Tim O. Meyer, 70 of Norton, will be held at the Redeemer Lutheran Church tomorrow, Friday, March 15th at 10:30 a.m., and visitation will be from 5 to 7 p.m. today, Thursday, March 14th, at the Plummer Gobber Funeral Home, 215 West Main Street in Norton. In lieu of flowers, please consider a donation of blood to your community blood bank or the Red Cross, and condolences may be left at plummergobber.com. Mass of Christian burial for Lorene Wertenberger Hasenflow, 96, will be held at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, March 16th at the St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church in Norton, and burial will follow in the Norton Cemetery. A rosary will be said at 10 a.m. before the service at the church. Memorial contributions may be made to the Anby Home or Hospice Services of Northwest Kansas and may be sent in care of Plummer Gobber Funeral Home, 215 West Main Street in Norton, and condolences may be left at plummergobber.com. Memorial services for Lucille Retke, 91 of Norton, will take place on Monday, March 18th at 10:30 a.m. at the Plummer Gobber Funeral Home in Norton, with Pastor Darlene Sheffer officiating. Memorials may be made in her memory to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital or the Second Chance Homeless Pet Society in Norton, and sent in care of Plummer Gobber Funeral Home, 215 West Main Street in Norton. Condolences may be left at plummergobber.com. I'm Natalie Hadley. Your KQNK News was brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, farmers helping farmers to succeed. You can contact Firebolt Ag today to get the most out of your farmland. Your KQNK weather forecast is being brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, your Norton experts for all of your pest control needs. Your forecast for today, there's a 20% chance of rain after 11 a.m. Otherwise, it'll be mostly cloudy with the high near 52 and breezy, with a north wind of 15 to 20 miles per hour and gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. For tonight, there's a 20% chance of rain before 10 p.m. Should be mostly cloudy with the low around 35 and breezy, with wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour tonight. On Friday, it should be mostly sunny with the high near 55 and a north wind of 10 to 15 miles per hour. And on Friday night, should be mostly clear with a low around 34. I'll be back with the rest of your forecast in just a moment.
When you got bugs, we know what a nuisance that can be.
Lock 'em out. From Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, Lock 'em Out is our very effective residential insect prevention program. We'll come to your place and treat your foundation plus all insect entryways. And while we're there, receive a free termite inspection. Call Mr. Rich Wenzel, our certified technician in Norton, at 785-202-0167. That's 202-0167.
Continuing with your weather forecast, on Saturday, it should be sunny with the high near 65. On Sunday, mostly sunny with the high near 59. On Monday, sunny with the high near 64. On Tuesday, sunny with the high near 68. And on Wednesday, sunny with the high near 70. Currently, with mostly cloudy skies, it is 46 degrees. The humidity is 79%. The wind speed is north at 14 miles per hour. The barometric pressure is 29.85. The dew point is 40 degrees, and your current wind chill is 40 degrees. Your weather was brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control right here in Norton. You can call Hinkle Termite and Pest Control at 785-202-0167 for all of your pest control needs. It is 8:23.
Every great sandwich should start with a great bread, which is why Mrs. Baird's puts as much care and pride into baking wholesome and delicious breads as you put into every sandwich. From toasted whole grains to natural honey and molasses, Mrs. Baird's breads are made from only the best stuff to fuel you and your family. So whether it's PB&J on whole grain white or turkey and Swiss on honey 7 grain, Mrs. Baird's has a delicious, nutritious bread to build it on. Mrs. Baird's, baking breads that taste great since 1908.
Your Kansas Sports Report is brought to you by United Northwest Federal Credit Union, where everything they do for you.
United Northwest Federal Credit Union is excited to announce that we will host our 75th annual meeting at the St. Francis of Assisi Parish Hall in Norton, Kansas on March 18th, 2024, beginning at 5:30 p.m. Supper and prizes will be provided to those in attendance. Reservations can be made by calling the office at 785-877-5191 by March 13th, 2024. Federally insured by NCUA.
KIN Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuy. Last night, number 10 seeded Kansas State knocked off number 7 seeded Texas in the second round of the Big 12 tournament, 78-74. K-State was led by 21 points from Tyler Perry. They put a total of 5 in double figures as Arthur Kaluma scored 14, 13 off the bench from David Gasson, and 10 points apiece from Cam Carter and Day-Day Ames. It was the second half comeback for K-State that got the ball rolling as they were down by 10, 39-29 at halftime. They outscored Texas 49-35 in the second half, and it was all because of less turnovers. They only turned the ball over twice in the entire second half, 10 total for the game after 8 in the first. Texas only turned it over a total of 7 times. Kansas State moves on to the quarterfinal round. They'll take on Iowa State tonight at 6 p.m. The Cats beat the Cyclones last Saturday 65-58 in Manhattan. Kansas Information Network Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuy.
With today's inflation straining your budget, your Kansas Farm Bureau membership can help keep more money in your pocket. Save up to 75% off preferred home and office products with Office Depot. Special package pricing with Lifeline screenings. Exclusive savings on post-frame buildings with QSI. And join the Kansans who've switched to Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. And enjoy significant savings on nationwide medical health care coverage. Join today. For a full list of benefits, visit kfb.org/benefits.
No matter who we call family, when we choose to get the flu shot, we're protecting them. That's especially true for those who are 65 and older and people with chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, or stroke. Getting a flu shot every year decreases your chances of getting the flu. If you do get the flu, the vaccine makes you less likely to be hospitalized or die from it. Protect yourself and the ones you love by getting your flu shot. Learn more at heart.org/.
Are you struggling with healthcare bills? Norton County Hospital is here to help with Epic River Loan Solutions. Applying takes less than 30 minutes and everyone is approved regardless of credit. Break your bill into manageable automatic monthly payments to build your credit. Plus, no penalties for upfront or prepayment. Don't let healthcare costs overwhelm you. Call Kelsey today, 785-874-2220.
Febreze Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Kansas Agriculture Network Markets.
Good day, I'm Slade Wiley. Right now, let's get a check of the weather.
Well, good morning. We had several rounds of severe weather last night into the overnight hours, including 3 reports of tornadoes near Alta Vista, near Alma, and a third northwest of Rossville, and a lot of hail reports. 2 inches in diameter near Manhattan, 3-inch hail at Junction City, and 4-inch hail southwest of Alma. More storms are likely as the severe weather threat pushes further east. We have low pressure now in the southwestern part of the country. A cold front is going to be moving through later on tonight. Rain chances will wind down with drier weather coming in for the weekend. Temperatures today will be in the mid-40s with a gusty north wind in northwest Kansas. Scattered showers in north-central Kansas with a high 55. Northeastern Kansas breezy with a high 65. A slight chance of rain. 52 degrees in southwestern Kansas today. In the south-central part of the state, partly cloudy and breezy with a high in the low 70s. Tonight's low 42. Then showers and a few thunderstorms in southeast Kansas. Our high temperature will be in the mid-70s today. Scattered storms tonight are low in the mid-40s. I'm meteorologist Dan Holliday.
Thank you very much for that look at the weather. Now, live cattle futures moved out of their trading range on Wednesday and are poised to move higher. Traders are optimistic cash cattle may trade higher this week. Hog futures could not find solid support, but nearby contracts were able to close about $1 above the lows. As far as the grains are concerned, corn futures turned higher this morning after spending most of the overnight session slightly lower. For soybeans, they are also trading higher this morning and have moved above the $12 per bushel psychological resistance. We're also trading above the 45-day moving average that had capped the market over the past two sessions. For wheat, they are lower this morning. The streak of Chinese cancellations of U.S. purchases ended on Wednesday, but then there were rumors that Chinese canceled some French purchases. This is the Kansas Ag Network.